What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of In Plain Clothes. I think it's episode 12 today, if I'm correct. It's another sunny day in Elephant and Castle. We've got some more heat. We had the heat wave like a couple of weeks ago. Don't know about everybody else, but I live at the top of a building and the heat was rising. It was horrible. I was dying, but it was nice to have the sun. Today we've got another guest, and a special one as well, because he's got something really exciting to talk about. He's made his name in the industry with national tours, international tours, and West End, performing in shows such as Heathers, Club Tropicana, Grease, Mamma Mia, and Saturday Night Fever. But the thing I'm most excited to hear about is his thriving new fitness and well-being company, Stage Strong, which if you're in the industry, you've probably heard of it already, of which he is the owner and founder. So welcome to the pod, Rory Phelan. How are we doing today, man?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Excited to be on.
Yeah, nice. We've had a little bit of behind the scenes like craziness already, but we've got the episode started, and I'm excited to have you on. How you doing? Yeah, how's life going at the moment?
I'm good. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm enjoying the brief sunny weather we're having in the UK. Although this week it wasn't that nice, but been trying to make the most of it. Ramping up for summer,
awesome,
really.
Man. Yeah, tell us a little bit about where you kind of grew up. That's kind of how I start the episode, like where you grew up, where you became you, how you got into the industry, like what you've done so far.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
I grew up southeast London in Bexley Heath.
Okay.
My family are from there still now. Just kind of never had any interest in theatre or performing at all. It was just not a thing on my radar.
Okay.
We'd go and see theatre as a family, but it was never like I'd want to do that.
Yeah.
And then just naturally kind of fell into sports. And my dream really was to go and be a sports physiotherapist. That's like what I wanted to do. And then just as I was in school, it was one of those things that I wasn't massively academic.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, right, it's clearly not happening. And a teacher was like, right, the only subject you can take is drama. And at this point, I was like 17, I think. It was kind of AS level time.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fine. And so my friend Jacqueline, she was at a local performance school, and she was like, oh, you should come do this. And then I basically auditioned. I wasn't going to uni or anything like that. And then got a scholarship, and that was it. But I'd never acted, sung, or danced before. And then I just kind of fell into it.
Wow.
And luckily liked it. I mean, first year of college, I was like, I hate this.
Yeah.
And then I gradually liked it, and then that's just how it's kind of rolled, really.
Man, what was that kind of turning point between like maybe first and second year where you were like, oh no, this isn't a mistake. This is something I actually want to do.
I think at first it's quite an overwhelming world to come into if you've never been a part of it before.
Yeah.
And also when you're just doing something which you've never done, naturally you're just not very good at it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm great at it now, but it was just one of those things, where you're okay.
Your CV would say otherwise.
Yeah, I was like, okay, right, this is what it's like, and just kind of get into terms that learning how to do like ballet and stuff was just painful for everybody involved.
Oh, yeah.
So it was stuff like that, but I think I started to love it and mainly enjoy the people that I was getting to do it with as well.
Yeah.
Because it's an amazing industry in so many terms, in terms of like the passion behind it and the love for it.
Yeah.
And I think I just kind of got caught up in that, and that was just what made me kind of be like, okay, yeah, no, this is the right thing to do, and then just stuck it out.
So where did you go to college?
I went to D&B, possibly the smallest college in the world.
I think I've heard
Not
of it.
many people have. When I went there, it was built above an Iceland.
Really?
Above an Iceland in Bromley, yeah. There was 11 people in my year.
Wow, okay.
I think there was just under 40 in the whole college, which was
small.
nuts. Yeah. So it was...
You get that one-on-one kind of personal training that you don't get with the bigger colleges.
I don't think I could have ever gone anywhere else. Right?
I went somewhere similar.
But I didn't audition anywhere else. It was kind of just what was nice, it was very kind of like, they literally took you hand in hand through the whole process. And that was it. They sorted me out, my first agent, my first accountant, like my first job, everything. Really? Was them, yeah.
To be fair, honestly, it sounds like it's kind of mirrored my kind of...
Because you were SLP, right?
I was SLP, which is a very small college. It was the only place I auditioned. I didn't know anything about musical theatre. My first show I ever saw was once I was already in college. My first year, I didn't like it and I failed all my exams. Like, it's literally almost, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it was only after my second and third year that I then started to get good enough to be able to, perform. I came from like a small town, didn't really know anything about, theatre. So kind of went hand in hand as well, and then got my first agent. So I do really see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But I'm always glad that I didn't go to a really big college that have like hundreds of people, because you just don't get that same intimate training.
I also, when I chat to friends that are in this kind of world and everything, one of the things I'm most grateful for is starting so late. obviously it has its like downsides in terms of like you're nowhere near at the same level as someone that's been doing it since they're 3.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think because of that, everything's so new and exciting. Whereas I think if I'd potentially been doing it since I was a kid, potentially that novelty may not have been there, or might have been a different experience for me. But every day at college for me, I was like, oh wow, this is something I've never even done before. What's this? So no, that was kind of how it all kind of came about.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I remember when I first got into college, they were like, "Oh, yeah, you're gonna have to do ballet," and I'd never done ballet in my life. So about 3 months before I went to college, like I started doing ballet classes, and it was awful. It was horrendous because these people have been doing it since they were like 3 years old, and I'd just never done it before. So I fully understand the feeling of going to college, not knowing, feeling so behind from everybody else there, and just like, so it does help when you have that kind of hand in hand kind of
and I think
taken
also
through the
it's,
process.
if you've never done it before, it's really scary and quite intimidating.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's how I told my friends that I was going to perform in art school. I got them all to, like, my group of mates, got them around my house, and I put on a unitard and came downstairs and was like, I'm going to perform in art school. And they're like, really? I was like, yeah, no, I'm as surprised as you are. So that's kind of how it happened. But I'll never forget my first ever dance class at D&B. Bless her, the teacher, I think her name was Rosie, was teaching me how to like do the entrance like dance, because you had to do like dancing and act to kind of get in.
Yes, yeah.
And she taught me this dance. I can't remember it. And we were about 10 seconds into the performance, and the people that ran the school were like, just stop. It's okay. Because apparently, like, my feet were like bleeding on the floor because I wasn't even wearing shoes. Where I was like trying to obviously try so hard, like rolling around the place.
Yeah.
But they were just like, it's all right.
It's okay.
Let's move on to the song.
Oh, it must have felt so right. And they still got in though.
If they were really desperate or something else happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the times it really helps to be a guy in
exactly.
in an industry that's widely dominated by girls. So.
Yeah.
And then when you graduated, was Mamma Mia your first?
No,
job,
so first job was Saturday Night Fever. I got that when I was in 3rd year. And it was really cool because we were doing Saturday Night Fever as our showcase, and I was playing Tony, and then I got cast as first cover Tony.
Okay. Was that with Morgan Jackson? Was that the UK?
No, so I did it. God, this is me showing my age. I did 2015 UK tour.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, wow,
no.
old.
Mate, you look great.
So that was so I did that literally coming straight out of college, and again, the college set everything up. So I was very lucky to have like people like alongside, and then just went straight into one of the most dancey show I've ever done.
Yeah, but that's the best time to go into it, because like after 3 years of training, you're the physically the fittest you're ever going to be, because you're doing hours and hours, like 5 days a week of physical training. So going into the most dancey shows, like the best time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was it was all kind of a whirlwind, but it was it couldn't have happened in a better way for me personally.
Awesome, man. Well, tell me about Stage Strong, because this is like a big new, I don't know how long you've really been doing it for, but it always pops up on my Instagram and people are raving about it. I know you've got Duncan. Duncan's doing it. He raves about it whenever I talk to him. So tell me all about it. I've heard it's like amazing.
I mean, I've been kind of training, well, mainly performance, because that's the only kind of world I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Since I graduated. So I was actually a trainer before I left college.
Yeah.
And then I've always been that kind of person that's been in cast, like helping people out, doing whatever. And then it was about 2.5 years ago, I was like, right, I keep putting it off.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I know I want to do it, but I keep putting it off. And then I basically injured my shoulder again and was going through my second surgery on it. And I remember sitting there being like, oh, do you know what? If not now, like, it's never.
Yeah.
And so I was like, tomorrow, start Stage Strong. Didn't have anything, right? And I was like, I've just got to pull the plug. And I was in the hospital bed, probably still on a little bit of morphine.
Yeah.
I was like, do you know what? It's live. Didn't even know what it was going to become. And then it just kind of snowballed. So, it's now been, this year will mark 2 years since it kind of initially started.
Okay.
We're in 9 countries now.
Wow.
Which is great.
Years.
In 9 countries, mainly across kind of Broadway and London.
Yeah.
We've currently got like over 125 people that we're working with on a daily basis.
Wow.
It's amazing because it's built from, my big belief in it is I wanted to build a space for creatives to like just feel confident in themselves outside of the stage, because our worth is so often tied to whether we're in a show or not.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm a big believer that if you feel confident within yourself, it just translates into your performance.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was trying to find that. So we're lucky to have, you know, rehab specialists on our team, a therapist on our team. Like that's, for me, it's the fitness side is, yes, great. But fitness for me is a way of feeling good about yourself. So we're not that brand that is getting you all oiled up for a photo shoot. That's not kind of the way we work. It's more about how do we get you feeling your best and just like feeling really proud of the work you're putting in outside of the just being on stage, and also getting ready for theatre, because theatre is intense, right? As we both know from shows we've been in. So it's for me it's having that kind of holistic approach to everything.
So if there was somebody watching, say, that was interested in, you know, looking into it, how would you describe what it is? Is it like a preparation, like fitness program?
Yeah, for us, how we kind of like, because people always like, so what is it? And it's ultimately, it's a health and wellness program helping you to achieve your goals both physically and mentally. Okay. And what I mean by that is we look to build structure and sustainability in an industry that doesn't have that. Mm-hmm. So we look at your overall routine, start to build in habits that you're looking to build in, whether that is working towards a specific fitness goal or even just anything you're kind of looking at. And then myself and the team of coaches we've got all get in on board and like, right, okay, this is what we can start to look at. And our amazing therapist, Frankie, kind of gets involved and starts to look at the mindset side of stuff. And it's really about how can we find something that works for you? Because otherwise, we always found with shows, when you're in a show, it's great. You know what you're doing. You know you've got to be. You can build this lovely routine. The moment that show ends, it's like someone's just hit the reset button in your life. And you're like, oh shit, what do I do? Where do I go from here? And so for us, it's about being able to be at a place where you're always feeling good within yourself, no matter whether there's a show, whether there's a casting or anything like that. Because that helps you to show up and it doesn't make you feel like you've got to fake this confidence the whole time. Because if I hear again one more person say fake it till you make it, it'll make me shoot myself.
So where can people find it? Is it on your Instagram?
Yeah,
website?
on Instagram, you know, both on my personal and on the Stay Strong page. And just, for us, it's, if we're very much the relation, if we can help, we'll help. If we're not the right brand for you, that we're not the right brand. For us, it's all about a collaboration effort, really.
That's amazing, man. Well, thanks for talking about it. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
We're actually going to move on to draw, distract, which you've had a little bit of a warning about. But I guess looked online, see what it is. But basically, we're going to test our drawing skills.
Okay.
Underneath your chair, you've got a whiteboard, pen, and rubber.
Okay.
You're going to pick a scenario out of that cup there on the table.
Right.
And whatever the hell's on it, we're going to draw. Okay. Whilst you answer some really difficult questions.
I am a horrendous drawer.
Oh, don't worry. I don't think anybody that's ever been in that chair has ever said that they're a good drawer either. So
it'll be stickmen galore.
Everyone's like, oh, I'm a terrible drawer. I'm like, you're in good company, don't worry.
An old Western town. Like cowboys.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Like a saloon bar kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay, that's fair. Let's do that.
I'll try my very best.
See, this is always, I say this every time, but this is always much harder for you because you've got to think about the responses. I just ask a question and I can doodle.
Like you can just start to, okay.
Yeah, it's so much. And last week, a few weeks ago, I did an episode just basically the reversed. So I was answering the questions. It's like my own podcast on me.
Yeah.
And I had to answer the questions whilst drawing. I was like, oh, this is so much harder. I can relate to what you're going through now. So, but also appreciate not having to do it. So, all right.
Okay.
First question. And these are a little bit more deeper because I value, obviously, getting to know the person behind the performer. So, yeah, whatever you're willing to share. Absolutely. What is the most difficult conversation you've ever had?
Ooh, most difficult conversation. I would honestly say, and this is going to sound really cringy saying it was having a conversation with myself about why I was performing. Mm-hmm. I think I got to a place where it was actually when I was in Heather's. We just finished doing the pro shot, and I remember coming off stage, and I was like, I don't know if this makes me happy anymore. Mm-hmm. And that was a really hard thing because I think as a performer, it's like your identity, isn't it, being in the show? Yeah. And so I then was like, okay, why? If you're not doing it because you love it, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
And then I handed in my notice that day at the show.
Wow.
Yeah. And left, was like, okay, going to start a new chapter, became an agent, was working at an agency.
That's so different as well.
Yeah. And then I was like, right, this is what I do now. And then when I was there, I started to think, okay, right, was it performing? Was it something else? And then lo and behold, a year and a half later, I went back to performing because I was like, right, now I'm doing it because I love it again, not because I'm doing it to impress someone or something, you know. But I'd say that's probably it. It sounds cringy being like myself, but yeah, I'd probably say.
No, I think that's a very valid point. All right, I like that answer. What is something you wish your parents had understood about you?
Oh, I actually don't know because without kind of picking them up too much, my mum and dad are legends. So yeah, they've been really good that they've always, no matter what's been going on, have backed me.
Yeah.
Like whenever I've been like, I think I'll do this, they're always like, all right, if that's what you want to do, go for it. And then they've always just kind of backed me to do it. So yeah, I'd say that there's not much because even when I wanted to perform, which came out of nowhere, they were like, all right, fine. Yeah, do it. So yeah, I don't say there's anything I wish they could have supported me more on or kind of understood. Yeah, I reckon I've been pretty fortunate in that scenario, you know.
That's nice, man. It's I understand having parents that are really supportive, and even if it goes wrong, it's knowing that they're going to be there and be like, "Hey, it's
That's
okay."
it.
You know,
And I'm
pick
probably
yourself up.
a bit too open with them, as in they know everything. Like I'm always just like, "Mum, Dad, this was going on."
Yeah.
And it's just kind of always been the case, especially as I've got older.
When they're your biggest cheerleaders, though, it's just
Yeah.
it's so worth it. You know, knowing that they're there to fall back on. You know, what is something you understand about your parents now that you didn't when you were younger?
Probably how much they've put me and my sister first. Because I think you always think like, okay, oh, you know, mum and dad are always there or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's only as you get older and you start to realise the level of stuff, you start to go, oh, wow. God, that must have been really difficult. Or like, you always made sure that we would never know anything that was kind of going on.
Yeah.
You know, they've always just, whenever I've needed them at the drop of a hat, I've kind of turned up. And I think that in the moment, sometimes you overlook that. And it's very easy to be like, oh, okay, right. But yeah, how much they go above and beyond without needing the plaudits of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, they've never been like, oh, you know, what, like, do you thank us or anything like that? You know, they've always just kind of been there.
That's beautiful. When do you feel most alone?
Most alone? I'm very bad with my own company.
Oh,
very
really?
bad.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's something I've only realised as I get older. I always have to be busy.
Interesting. Okay.
Always. And so I'm trying to slow down a bit more because I'd always feel like, okay, if things were slow, I'd be like, right, I've just got to go and do a million and one things to be busy.
Uh-huh.
So, I'd say trying to sit with that and trying to kind of build up from that.
Yeah.
I'm still not great at it, but I'm like kind of getting with that over time. But it's usually just because I've always grown up, there'll always be a friend around or something going on. So I'd say probably that is just, learning to develop being in my own company.
Why do you think that is? Where do you think that stems from? Wanting to just...
I don't know.
I mean, keeping busy, I think, especially in this industry, is a very... It's a thing that we all do without realizing probably why we do it, but we're very... Especially a lot of people on the spectrum in this industry, and we all like to keep busy. We like to, especially in an industry where it kind of evaluates busyness to worth and that kind of thing. But you really do, feel that uncomfortability, and sometimes it's important to sit in that uncomfortability when you feel kind of on your own. You're able to sit in that loneliness. Oh, I'm not doing anything right now. Why does that make me feel... why is that quite difficult to face?
Yeah.
And whether it's, because you tie it to your worth, because you tie it to something else, maybe, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't, I think it's because growing up, like I was very lucky to always like have mates around or always have something going on. And I never really had to spend much time just me.
Yeah.
So I guess that's probably where that's kind of come from. And so, I just guess it's something I've never experienced it. It's only as I've got older, I've always been like, oh, okay. Oh, I've always done this with like friends there or with this going on, always been kind of having stuff on in the background.
Yeah.
And when it kind of mainly hit me, so I was on tour in America, and at one point COVID shut us down, and I was in New York for 4 weeks or something. I had an apartment in New York.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. But I've only ever been to New York for like 5 days max. And when I was there, I remember after the first 5 days of just exploring by myself, I was like, this is amazing. And then the week after, I was like, God, this is such a busy city, but quite lonely.
Mm.
And I'd say that was probably one of the best experiences I've had, because it forced me to just be there.
Just be,
you know, when you
present.
don't know anyone
Yeah.
or all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it was kind of a steep learning curve, I'd say, when I was
Yeah.
there, for definite.
But it's good to always, I'm a big advocate for sitting in that and kind of addressing rather than trying to run away from
That's it. That's the
those
hardest
uncomfortable
part.
feelings,
just sitting
even though
with
they're
it.
uncomfortable.
Mm.
You know, what fear has had the biggest impact on your decisions?
Fear of failure, I'd probably say. It's
Mhm.
probably quite a common one.
Common one, yeah.
And I'd say that was originally why I had to ask myself whether, performing was the right avenue for me.
Yeah.
Because I was always just thinking like, oh, if I'm not in a show, I'm not successful.
Yeah.
If I'm not this, I'm not successful. And so I'd say that that's there, and it's definitely something which I feel like proud to say that I feel like I'm slowly kind of, that's not the identity I have anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd definitely say that, because you'd always feel like you're only as valid as the last credit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And again, that's something which I really try and pride myself on, of separating from now and not being in that kind of place. And it's hard,
It is.
because that's kind of what we're conditioned to, right?
Mm-hmm. What do you think people love about you that you struggle to see in yourself?
Oh, that's really hard. I'd probably say confidence, really. Because I'd always say that I'm kind of like confident, but I'd always be like, I wish I'd be more confident in that, or more,
Yeah.
whatever. But a lot of my friends aren't, like my main kind of friendship group, aren't in the industry. And to
Okay.
them, I'm like,
Crazy confident.
Crazy
Yeah,
confident.
Yeah.
but I'd say probably confidence and belief. Because they're always like, oh, if you believed in yourself as much as you believed in others, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say that. But yeah, again, they're things you never think of until you start drawing an old Western town, and that's when they
Yeah,
start to
you
come
actually,
up.
and then it's hard to like focus on which one's what's right and so. Oh, it is challenging, this one for sure. What is a secret struggle you've dealt with that most people don't know about you, or know but don't know about?
Secret struggle.
Or maybe not secret, but maybe just like less known. Or
Yeah,
something that you don't talk about as much.
I'd probably say like the fear of being enough within certain scenarios.
Yeah.
I'd always try and push things to the absolute max. Like if I was going to do anything, it had to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like that kind of perfectionist thing, which I think a lot of performers feel. And so I've been trying to live by this motto of being like, be very content with a 7 out of 10 effort. I know that sounds really dramatic.
No, I get
and
that.
weird,
Yeah.
because for me, if it wasn't perfect, there was no point in doing it.
Yeah.
And so, I got into this place being like, right, a 7 out of 10 is still an absolute win.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but equally trying to find what a 7 out of 10 feels difficult at times as well. But I'd say, yeah, trying to escape that idea of having to be perfect in scenarios.
So often you don't have. I know it's kind of slightly different, but when people say, "Oh, you've got to always give 100% in shows," but depending on what you've got to give, 100% could look different. If you only have 70% in the tank, if you give 100%, that's 100% of what you have. Do you know what I mean?
But it's equally like the thing which used to always be said when I was at college and graduating is full out.
Oh,
You've got to be full out. You've got to break your necks when you do that movement or whatever. And I get the concept behind it, right? Give it your everything.
Yeah.
But it can then also, I've found, stop us as performers taking action on other things, because we're like, well, there's no point unless I can be perfect with it.
Yeah.
Unless I can be full out with feeling, there's no point.
It's the same thing with like starting new things as well. Because often people will say, "Oh, well, if there's no point starting a new thing
Unless I can get it
unless
perfect.
it's perfect first time."
Mhm.
Even kind of with this, I was like, "Oh, I still want like a really good studio to make it look like I've been doing it for ages, even if it's the first time I'm doing it," which I fortunately managed to secure. But like, I don't know whether I'd have done it if I didn't have like the studio to like make me feel like it was a proper thing already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's difficult. Sometimes you just got to start it and then figure it out along the
Yeah,
way.
and I always it's been something I've been speaking to a lot lately, of like this idea of, instead of trying to do everything perfectly, just start like trying to master the messiness.
Yeah.
Like being able to live in the messiness and be like, okay, well, this is what it looks like, and how can we make the most of that situation rather than just going, it's not perfect, so it's over.
Yeah. What is something you've spent years trying to prove?
Ooh. That, I guess, I can follow through with something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd always have these like big ideas and be like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do that, and then I'd always like give in on it or get close but never. And I think it came back to that feeling of like, had to be perfect.
Yeah.
So I'd say, yeah, trying to prove myself wrong that I could follow it through to the end.
I can really relate to that. I was saying on my episode I did on myself recently that it's so easy to not follow through if somebody else isn't doing it with you, or you don't have like something forcing you to do it. And a lot of the times in my life I've not done that until I've decided to go against the flow, and that's actually where this podcast started. Whereas I could have somebody else decided not to do it with me, so I went, oh, I could just not do it myself. And I'm like, you know what? Just follow through. Just do it. Even if you don't know what it's going to be, you don't know what it's going to be about, just do it and then figure it out along the way. And I think it is so easy to just make an excuse, especially if somebody's not holding you to it, to just not do something.
Yeah.
And that's a habit that takes a lot to break out of. So I definitely, I feel you on that one.
It's very easy to give up.
Yeah. Oh, it's so easy to give up.
It's safe,
It's
right?
comfortable.
Yeah.
It's in your comfort zone. All right, how are we doing with the drawing?
I don't even know where I've gone with this. It's bizarre.
There was a hard one. I really had to put a lot of effort into thinking about this one. I was like, well, I don't know quite where I'm at, but we've got something. Do you want to?
Okay, who's going first? Me?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I think mine needs to explain it because I don't know if it makes sense.
Please
in my
do.
head.
Show the camera
Which,
and explain.
this one?
Yeah.
There is my town.
Okay.
So I started off with, that's like the saloon.
If you hold it up a little bit, like
There
more.
you go. Saloon, but again, it sounds really bad. I wasn't sure how to spell saloon. I was like salon with an extra O.
Yeah, I nearly put 2 L's. I was like, is there 2
I was
L's
like,
in
I don't know if
saloon?
it was-
I did the exact same thing. Yeah.
And then I started like building these other places and didn't realise what they were.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be doors, not loaves of bread.
Oh no, I thought there were doors. Yeah.
And then some guys had a gunfight, and then a really bad like cow/horse with a man with a lasso, and then just a bunch of random people just inside the loaves of bread.
Matt, I think you smashed it. I think that's great. Yeah,
That was it. Yeah. Go on, the list of yours.
I mean, it's similar kind of.
Oh my god, come on. That's ridiculous. Yours is like 3D, and then there's my loaves of bread for doors.
I don't know why this keeps
You can't
happening.
bring people on here if you can actually draw.
I can't draw. These are stick men. Like, this isn't real drawing.
I've got a cow/horse.
Yeah, I've got a horse and cart too.
Yeah, but that's
It's the
got,
same.
yeah. Wow, you got hills in the background.
Well, they
got
were kind of like
sun.
sand dunes, and I didn't want to put any birds because it's in the desert, isn't it? You've got the guy shooting cans on the top. You got range, I guess, shooting range there.
Yeah.
You got a saloon. You got somebody dead, and you got the dust balls. What you get in the desert, kind of like bits of sand.
Wow.
Just kind of, I don't know, just kind of make up.
I can't believe you've done that to me.
Mate, again,
I
it's
can't believe
easier
you've
when
done
I'm
that to me.
asking questions. And
I've
I don't
got
have
some
to do
sort
the
of weird
answers.
colouring in on the top.
But I did think, I was like, there's never any like tops of buildings
Yeah.
in the desert or like saloons. So it's just like flat. So I was like, what happens on the top? I was like, well, I guess there's a guy
I was
just
drawing
shooting
this and I was
cans.
going, do you know what? Really good job. You've tried really hard there. And then I've seen that and gone, awful.
No, so I even tried to put there's a rocking chair there with no one in it because there's always some guy with like a hat just on a rocking
See,
chair.
you've even
in
thought through
Westerns,
that.
isn't there? Do you know what I mean? All right, I wanted to move on to discussion theme of the episode, and because of Stage Strong, I thought this was quite a good one. I wanted to go into men's mental health a little bit and just get your kind of take on that within this industry, especially with worth being tied to your job and what work you have to show. It's so easy to struggle with mental health in those times where you're not working, even when you are working and still not being valued as a person, just as a performer. How where do you think specifically men's mental health is at within the industry at this point, and how is Stage Strong working to help that at the moment?
I think one of the good things at the moment is mental health has been spoken about more than ever before, which is great. But equally, I don't think that the overall mental health of where our industry is at the moment is great at all. And I think that it's something that has to be spoken about more and more. Because, again, there's not many other lines of work where you can do everything you possibly can and it comes down to a panel of 5-6 people which have been like, yes or no. And the only thing you can do is start to turn inwards in that moment. And so for me, the biggest thing which we've been trying to pride ourselves on and our big ethos is at Stay Strong is trying to build that belief in people that they are able to achieve anything they want, and their worth can't be tied to a panel, which is easier said than done, right? Because no matter how long you've been doing this industry, no matter what people say, a no still cuts.
Yeah.
Even if you prepare for it, it still hurts.
Even if you know that there's loads of reasons that it's not about you or your talent, like it still sucks.
Every time you get through that recall, you instantly know how you spent your first paycheck.
Yeah.
You know which touring venues you're going to. You know who's coming to that first show.
Planning it out in your head.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's because it's the only industry where it's not linear, right?
Yeah.
No matter how many credits you've got, doesn't mean that the next step is always up.
No.
And so for me, it's being able to find happiness and pride and success away from the stage, because then you can go back to it for the real reason you do it, which is because you love it.
Yeah.
Right. No one came into musical theatre being like, I'm going to be a millionaire.
Right. No, of course not. Can you imagine?
And so for me, it's about once you can find that belief and success in yourself, then it allows you to take that pressure off, because otherwise you're stepping into that audition room with so much on your shoulders before you've even done anything.
Yeah.
And people always say the auditions, or in my scenario, and I know plenty of other people as well, that their best auditions have been the ones where they didn't care about. They didn't.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, they always go, oh, I didn't even know about that one, and that was the best one that happened. I truly believe it's because the weight was off. Yeah. The ones you desperately want, they're the ones that you already find yourself before you get in the door. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think half the battle is before you've even opened the door to the audition room anyway. So for me, it's just continue to have those conversations, continue to be able to be quite open and share it and not feel that there's any judgment involved.
Yeah.
Be able to talk about the fact that it's not perfect. The industry does have flaws, and that's okay. And being able to be like, you know, you can still be in a show and it doesn't make you ungrateful if you're not having the best time. Like, that's all right.
Yeah.
A lot of people be like, how could you? You're doing the best thing ever. But it's, as much as it's what we love to do and it's our passion, it is a job.
Yeah.
And I think we need to be able to have that conversation of being like, it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling within it, because sometimes we feel we have to mask it, and it's not always the case.
Yeah. That's the second part of that was actually rejection and resilience, and how to stay positive and how to deal with that constant rejection when it often doesn't have anything to do with you and your ability as a performer. And that's why a lot of people leave the industry within like the first few years of college, just because they're maybe not getting jobs, and it has nothing to do with their ability or their talent in the first place. Yeah. And it's how have you maybe put on a personal level, or what advice would you give to people to be able to deal with that constant rejection and not give up?
Yeah, well, the truth of it is that's the hardest part, right? It's the no's, the different things that happen. Like, you know, there's a mad statistic that only 2% of any performers are in work and making a living from it at any time. Right, that's crazy.
Ridiculous.
On paper, if you ever heard that, you'd be like, no way.
So why would you even do this industry?
Exactly. And that's like making a living.
Yeah. Not just like surviving.
Yeah. And so the truth of it is with that is you have to find things that still make you feel like you're progressing and successful outside of it. Something that part of your week you can be like, oh, I've done this. Whereas if it's just down to that audition, and we may have had it before where if you don't get it, that entire week is written off. Yeah. That whole month is down the drain. And it's about finding that success. And, you know, funnily enough, I went over to New York last year and spent some time with our clients on Broadway. I was having coffee with one of them that just finished after doing, I think it was 7 years straight on Broadway, right? It was his first time coming up to a break.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how do you feel about it? And he was like, yeah, I'm really excited. And I was like, why? And he was like, this is when the work begins. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, being in a job is the holiday. That's the cherry on top of the cake. The actual work is when you're out of work. That's when you've got to do things you don't want to do. You've got to grind.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's such a different mentality to what I'd ever looked at before.
Yeah.
And he was like, because the show's, that's the easy bit.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're in it, he was like, that's the other bit where you've got to double down and find that belief in yourself, find something that makes you feel good and turn up each day. Because that's what I think, when as performers you're feeling your best, that's when you have the opportunity to show your talent the most.
Yeah.
When you feel like you're full of doubt or worry or anything like that, you're only going to start to become more inward like thinking and not be able to put your best self out there. That's kind of the way that I believe in it.
Yeah.
Because all we're trying to look is just to be confident enough to just show everyone what we can do.
Yeah.
It's never a thing of talent. It's just how you can showcase it.
Yeah. No, that's a great answer. I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to some quick fire questions. This is nice and easy.
Okay.
Off the top of the head,
Okay.
I'm just going to throw some quick questions at you and you're just going to, it's an A or B answer. So it's really
Okay,
simple.
A or B. Okay, fine.
All right. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Sweet or savoury?
Savoury.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Book or movie?
Movie.
Introvert or extrovert? Or both?
I'd probably say extrovert.
Okay. Football or rugby?
Football.
London or Paris?
London.
Apple or Android?
Apple. I thought you meant the fruit then. I was like, what's an Android?
How do you eat an Android? Did you answer? Apple.
Oh, yeah,
Android.
Apple.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Fame or fortune?
Fortune.
Yeah.
I'd
I mean,
probably say.
but both, like, I guess it's a difficult
Both
one.
would be great.
Both would be great, but also both are, like, not necessarily the biggest values, but, like,
Yeah.
if you're going to take one, I mean, I'd say fortune.
Yeah. 100%.
If I was famous but had no money, I'd be like, what's the point?
Yeah, and also, I think growing up, I always loved the idea of being famous, but I don't think it's anything I ever want.
The older I've got, the more I've started to value my privacy, and the more I see people like in the news or just being like under scrutiny for various different things. Anytime they even go out, I'm like, I actually don't want that. I wouldn't want to be known that much that if I even just had a slight bad day and it was just like, no, I just don't want to sign anything, and then suddenly this is a horrible person in the press, and I'm like, what happened? Like, I don't think I'm that personable enough to be famous. I'm not nice enough as a person to be famous. All right, before we go, do you have like a really embarrassing audition or like story or like even performance story, anything?
I've got a few.
You got a few, but your worst one.
What's the most embarrassing audition story? Okay, I won't name the show because that'll make me feel really bad. But it was just after COVID, and I was in for like a dancey show. Mm-hmm. I am a mover at best. Okay. I epitomise the word mover.
Right.
And I remember going in, and there was tons of people that I knew in there. I was like, oh God, this is like really like proper dancey, right? Okay. There was a lot. And it was like a 90-second routine.
Also, just as a cutaway, you did Saturday Night Fever as a mover.
I can dance, but like as in, do not put me in a room full of like dancers. Right, okay. Because I'll stand out, right?
Right, okay.
I'll be faking it. I'll be faking it till I make it the thing which I hate the most, right?
Yeah.
And I remember getting in there. They taught us the dance, and it was quick. It was like turns, leaps, everything that was going on. And I was like, I'm not in this room. And so they were like, okay, come down, groups of 4. And the awkward thing where they do like one at the front, one at the back, one at the front. I was the person at the front, so I couldn't even copy anyone, right?
And then they make you do it twice and switch it.
Yeah. But so the first time round I was at the front, they start the music. Everyone starts moving. I'm a good 6-7 counts behind everyone at this point, right? I'm just watching the mirror, just being like, let's just try and keep up.
And you have learned it, but
and it just wasn't happening. Your brain's not there.
Yeah, it's not the day.
And we finished, and the person running the audition went, "Oh, did you have a bit of a brain fart?" And I was like, "Yeah."
They're like,
she was like, "Do you want to do it again?" I went, no, I'm good. I was like, I don't think I should do it the first time. I was like, thank you so much, though. Just walked straight out the audition.
Did you actually?
Yeah. I was like, I just left. You know,
because-
when you're like, there's no point.
The only thing worse than doing and having a brain fart the first time is them making you do it a second time and doing the exact same thing.
You know, when you're like,
it's just not.
there's
the
no
one."
point. And then the only other little ones that I've had before as well, I remember I auditioned for 7 Brides for 7 Brothers or something, which again, very, very dancey.
Yeah, yeah.
And it finished with a double tour, right? I struggled with a single tour, okay? And I remember it finished, land on your knees, like with your arms up to the audience.
Yeah.
I finished facing the back. And again, the panel were like, Rory, just this way. I was like, oh, God. Yeah, awful. So I've had quite a few moments of those.
I mean, who hasn't? Like, if anybody's coming to say, I've never had an embarrassing story, I'm like, I hate those kind of people. Do you know what I mean?
Have you ever heard the story of the person whose Mamma Mia audition went bad?
No.
Oh, God, this is the greatest audition story ever.
Let's hear it.
He went in, did his song, and he said it didn't go, like, again, I won't name him because I don't know if he'll be happy with it, but he said it didn't go the way that he wanted to anyway, and they were like, great, thank you. And it was the rooms at Umbrella Rooms, where it's like up the top.
Yes, yeah.
And apparently the panel turned away to start talking. We're like, oh, thanks very much. And he left, and he thought he'd left through the door he came in, but he didn't. And so he opened the door, went in, and closed the door. The next person came in, started singing. He was in the cleaning cupboard, right? Whilst they were singing their song. They then stopped singing, and they were giving their feedback. And he like opened the door and was like, I'm so sorry. And they're like, what? And he's like, I just didn't know what to do, so I just thought I'd commit to being in the cupboard, and then left. How incredible is that?
That's a brilliant
Can
story.
you imagine being
Did
the
he get
person
job?
afterwards? No.
It's like- but then what would you do? You can't walk out in the middle of somebody else's
But
audition and
the
put
whole
them off.
day
You
would like.
just got to stay in the cupboard and be like, oh, that would be so.
But also, why not
awkward.
open the cupboard and just go, oh, this is the cupboard?
Yeah, yeah. Why'd
Why
you open
commit
it and
to
just
going in?
Commit to walking in. It's
Yeah.
a bold choice, but
There you go.
mate, thank you so much for
No,
coming on
thank
the
you for
podcast.
having me.
It's been so nice to like hear your stories, and I think we've actually got. I didn't realize how we kind of really followed each other's kind of growing up in terms of career.
Yeah.
I'm a personal trainer as well myself, so it kind of just really matched.
And you're also apparently a very good artist compared to me as well. So congratulations.
Well, yeah, no, I'll tell you what, my stickmen are on point.
Yeah.
Leave a lot to be desired. But yeah, thanks again for coming on and talking about Stay Strong. And if you're interested at home looking into it, I mean, like you said, it's on the website and Instagram. I'll be tagging it in Reels on Instagram as well, so make sure you follow in Plain Clothes. And yeah, subscribe to the YouTube or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. But it's much more exciting if you watch on YouTube because you get to see Rory's amazing designs and artwork. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. Appreciate you watching, guys.